Grand Rising, everybody, and welcome to Self-Care. We're broadcasting out of Marietta, Georgia, and also Crystal Lake, Illinois, with my BFF Lori Urbancic of No Sugar Mama, and we're talking today about nourishing your body and delighting your taste buds. And what does that really mean, right? So the thing is, here's a story for you because I like stories, right? When I was a little girl, my big thing was Oreo cookies. I'm sure many of you, had your experience with Oreo cookies. So I jumped up on top of the counter, the kitchen counter, and I wrapped my tiny little legs because I was, probably, maybe 30 or 40 pounds sopping wet. And I wrapped my legs around the cookie jar and I ate the entire cookie jar of cookies. And I did not get punished by my mom because she said, yeah, you're going to be so sick. I can't punish you. You've already punished yourself. So we're here to disrupt that reality. So with that in mind, let me bring on my girlfriend, Lori Urbancic.
Good morning, Jody. So good to see
you. So isn't that hilarious? So I wrapped my legs around the cookie jar. I ate the entire cookie jar of Oreo cookies and I was sick. Now, had I done that with No Sugar Mama products, I would have been very, very full, but I wouldn't have been sick.
Right on, right on. And I'll tell you what, I brought props with me. Someone I recently talked to said, Lori, I like to eat about 9 or 10 of these cookies after dinner.
Wow.
And so, Joni, that is how a lot of us did it, when we were younger. And some of us changed through the years because we had health concerns but some people, they may not know about multiples of these cookies. And in fact, on the back of this product, it says excess consumption may cause a laxative effect.
It does not.
Yes.
Let's go to the camera. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Now I want to see the laxative effect thing. Do
you see it?
Yeah, I do. Crap. Yes. Crap. There you go.
Right.
Right. Wait. So
listen, and I got to tell you, this, no joke. I have to tell you, this is where there's gifts and strange wrapping paper. A person that bought my products got the crazy cookies and got the 4. And he said he didn't know on the website that he was going to get 4 cookies. It's there, but it's not there enough that he saw it. So, feedback for me, make it, more prominent.
Well, most people are pretty unconscious. Honestly, we all are.
Sure.
In our go mode, we're moving as fast as we can.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good. Click, click, click. Oh, I didn't realize I bought that.
Yeah. Right? Well, he sent me an email. He said, you lost me. 4 cookies, not enough. So I called him. And actually, he's in another state. And it was a beautiful call. We talked for about 30 minutes. And you know what? He said, I got to have about, 9 or 10 cookies for my dessert. And I said, well, how many calories in the cookies? And did you look at the nutrients? And it was a beautiful discussion because what he did finally say was, one of your cookies had me feeling full. And Joni, I think that's a very important thing for people to understand is that when we eat food, real food, our stomach gets full. We're satiated. Our appetite is addressed and our brain can back off that. I need more to get the fix,
Food. Okay, so this is perfect. When I taught in October at the Georgia Addiction Counseling Association, I spoke about something, and I think you and I've spoken about this. I spoke about the bliss point. So for those of you who don't know what the bliss point is, it is a formula created by Howard Moskowitz. He created it when he created Dr. Pepper. Yes, that soda.
Yeah.
And it's a formula to have you crave more. a formula for addiction. Okay. And so when I was speaking to that community, the addiction, the mental health counselors, right, that work in addiction, um, I would say most, if not all, were very surprised
Yeah.
that there was a formula in our food supply for addiction. And the thing is, you come on. I mean, I know you've probably already figured this out. He didn't just keep it for Dr. Pepper. He sold it to every food manufacturer on the planet.
Yeah.
And so when you don't feel satiated, that addiction is working with your limbic system.
Yeah.
And so your limbic system doesn't like turn off or doesn't recognize the fact that you're full,
Yeah.
right?
And
Okay.
that, and as you said, when we were younger, I did it too. I loved Oreos. I mean, I could eat a sleeve of those. I've heard people tell me they can eat a sleeve of the Girl Scout, those thin mints. Those have that same sort of a, you just want more. And, when you start looking at like, why do you want more? When you look at, and I mean, this is, I got to tell you, I'm really surprised at this label because, when you look at these ingredients that are in these kinds of products where people can eat so many of them, we start getting into, of course, cane sugars, refined sugars, sugar alcohols. There's lecithins, emulsifiers, and even in this one, and I'm not picking on this product, and I taped it so people don't know the brand because I don't want to single products out, but in this one it uses acetylcholine K, which is a link to multiple forms of cancer, right? And it's, if anybody
Well,
can,
I would like to know what the brand is.
well, the brand is named Vortmans.
Wortman's. Okay. So here's the thing. If they're willing to put their name on their product with that,
Yeah,
then they should be willing for us to speak about it.
yeah, yeah. Now I will say,
I'm sorry, they are accountable.
yeah.
And
So
and I'm sorry, I'm just being pissy. Hold on a second. So here's what people want to know.
yeah,
There are ingredients, chemicals that are approved for use in foods in the United States that are not approved in other countries.
yeah,
So look at what's just buy. If you can't understand it, don't buy it.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, Jody, I love your passion. And I mean, you and I, we've got so many things in common, that passion. These ingredients, it starts out with wheat, barley, niacin, iron, monotrate, riboflavin, folic acid. Then it gets into vegetable oil, canolas, soybeans, hydrogenated soybean, palm kernel, malitol, water, salt, natural
What
flavor.
is maltitol actually?
It's some sort of a, I thought it's in the sweetener family. It's in the,
Yeah, so I'm looking it up. It's a disaccharide produced by hydronation of maltose obtained from starch. And maltitol syrup is basically it's produced by hydrogenating corn syrup.
right. So when we do all these things to these, at some point, something started out as food. And then we did a bunch of chemically, biologically induced processes to it. And then it turned into a thing that's been altered. And now we can get into, when that comes into our body is not recognizing what is this and what should I do with it. And I'll tell you what, I give this company a lot of credit. Jody, I'm going to read this. Contains bioengineered food.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. So I outed that 2 years ago, but here's the thing: I outed that at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
So I'm at Whole Foods. It's I wanted some pie. I have the video on my website because I was freaked out. Okay, and I'm just getting everybody at Shifting Your Mind to Reclaim Your Health to know that we're live. Good morning, Phil. Thank you for watching. So, whoops. So let me just alert everybody real quick that we're on the show. So we are live, right? So here's the thing. Pisses me off. So so
I know it.
we're at the store. I'm looking for some pie. Okay.
What pie were you looking for? Apple?
Apple.
What?
Apple pie. I love apple pie.
Okay, I'll make
Okay.
one of mine.
And so oh goodness gracious.
Did you find it? I mean,
Yeah, I did. I'm you know, Naima, I'm just going to out her on the show. So Naima Latif is the executive producer for the Female Solution, who refuses to understand that I'm no longer with the Female Solution and is trying to record this on Blog Talk. I hereby I don't know what to say. You are not allowed to record me on Blog Talk. You're not allowed to do this under my name, which is Self-Cell Care. Please stop. You are crossing boundaries. This needs to stop. I just got a long text message from her this morning.
oh,
So
wow.
I'm sorry that you're asking me because you don't take no for an answer. We're going to do another show. You may want to listen to it on boundaries. Okay. So just stop. Okay. So, anyways, I apologize for having to bring that energy in. Some people just don't take no for an answer. Wow. So, we were talking about bioengineered ingredients and
Yes.
bioengineered ingredients. So, I was going to get apple pie. Now, I have a phenomenal recipe for apple pie on my website. And what I do is I buy the gluten-free crust just because, you know, sometimes I don't feel like taking the time to
Right.
make that. I apologize.
Okay.
But what I do is I not only do I include, you know, obviously delicious apples, cinnamon, essential oil, or, you know, powder, depending on what I have in the house. I put in Sun Warrior protein, or I
Nice.
put in the OM Master Blend mushroom protein. So I made that pie for Thanksgiving, right? And I put all that stuff in it, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this most delicious pie." I'm like, "Ha ha ha! I infused it with good stuff, right?" So, right. So here's the thing: I know we don't always have the time to make our pies or whatever, but we also froze the pies.
Yeah.
So we had extra pies, we froze them, and I unfroze it. It comes out perfect.
Yeah.
But this bioengineered stuff, you all have to just walk away. You really don't want bioengineered ingredients in your system because it gets stored in your fat cells, and they're not even telling you which ingredients are bioengineered. They're
Yeah.
just saying okay,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. Well, any lecithin, any soy, any kind of a sugar, alcohol, you know, these are the things that, you know, get chemically produced. I mean, and what can we say? Our bodies don't know what to do with it. And you know, Jody, at the end of the day, food is simple, right? I look for like 3, 4, 5 ingredients. If there are multiple lines of ingredients, to me, that is a massive red flag. And you know, if people read ingredients, they will figure it out. But I mean, like even this package has three lines of ingredients, and you know, I give them
Not 3 ingredients, 3 lines of ingredients.
yeah,
Right?
3 lines.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
guess what? I mean, one of their cookies is 120 calories.
wow.
I mean, and so think
But
about
actually, the calories don't bother me.
yeah, but still,
I'm not saying it's good.
no,
But
the
the
man,
real culprit is what, Lori? What's the real culprit, not the calories?
well, I mean, all these chemicals, right? I mean, to me, all these chemicals are the culprit. But that man that said to me, Lori, I like a good 9 or 10 cookies, and he referenced this product. I didn't know what this product was, and so he inspired me to go buy it. The cookies themselves are about 70 cents a cookie, right? And one cookie has 120 calories. So if he eats 9 of these, he's over 1,000 calories in cookies. And he's got 16 carbohydrates in one cookie. So just imagine this. After dinner, 6 o'clock, let's say 7 o'clock, 9 cookies times 120, 16 carbohydrates. And by the way, fat grams is 7 grams. So 7 grams times 9 cookies. I mean, can you imagine? You know, and this is after dinner. And now this person, do they go for a walk? I mean, do they go to bed in 3 hours? What's happening to their liver? What's happening to their brain? What is their stomach and entire, you know, digestion chain doing with this? And then going to bed and then waking up in the morning. How does this person feel? And I got to tell you, he was upset because I had 4 cookies. And
now how does he feel? Is he feeling a little bit better that he understands?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. This was a 30-minute phone call. And I went into it going, I'm glad he complained to me because I wanted to have the chance to talk to anybody that has questions about my products. And so it led to a half-hour conversation. Very nice man, very polite, respectful, retired person, professional career, had a background in IT. And so he told me everything that he was upset about. And then I said, well, let's talk about No Sugar Mama products. I said, what had you buy it? And so he told me. And then this led to, I said, what cookie do you think tasted better? This cookie or No Sugar Mama? He said, of course, your cookie. It was a beautiful cookie. He even used this phrase with me. Your cookie has a complex profile to it. There's a lot of things going on in there. I said, that's great. I said, what'd you taste? He told me what he tasted. And by the end of the conversation, I said, what cookie was better? Yours. Of course it was better. I said, would you buy my cookies again? Yes. He said, I just have to know that I have to eat fewer.
Well, right. And so we don't have to eat a lot to get satiated, right?
That's the key.
And you know, one of the things that I was also speaking about at the Georgia Addiction Counseling Association was that, and this is really important, people, if you're taking psychotropic drugs or actually any drugs, it turns off an area, some of them do, in the limbic system, in your hypothalamus, and the part of your brain that says, I'm full. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
You shovel food into your body, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you know, this is
it's sort of this, right?
Yeah. This is the science of eating. And and I kind of want to go into another spot because, you know, when you start looking at, let's say, premium ingredients or quality ingredients, and you start looking at foods that are gluten-free, dairy-free, if they don't have processed sugar, if they don't have soy, right? We can still look at even some of the other ingredients that are often used, even what I call like a better quality product. And I've got another product here. Now, again, I'm not calling this out as a harmful ingredient, but I'm going to say tapioca starch. Okay. Another.
Well, talk to me why that's a problem. I didn't see it as a problem, but maybe you do. And
tapioca is a plant compound that reduces the body's ability to absorb essential nutrients.
Whoa. Say that again.
Tapioca, it's a plant.
Yeah.
There's a compound in the plant that actually reduces our body's ability to absorb essential ingredients. It's called, well, they refer, and you can Google this. This is not, you know.
I'm going to do it right now.
Right.
Tapioca starch.
Right. It actually can cause gut and stomach upset. You know how when you eat something, you're like, oh, I feels a little, but, you know, we discount it, right? A lot of times, all of us do that. We eat something, oh, I feel a little off. Well, that is something reacting in your gut and your stomach, and it actually contains something called an anti-nutrient, right? And so it seems
kind
so
of like soy.
Kind of like soy, exactly.
So I did not know this. You know, I love that you're my teacher. So, you know.
But listen, I started out when I first started making my own products, which eventually led to No Sugar Mama in my own kitchen. I was desperate to have the cleanest, purest products. I used tapioca. I didn't know until I had a food test that I potentially had a sensitivity to it, and it came out in my food test. So I had to eliminate tapioca for 30 days. I reintroduced it.
Tapioca is cassava, like cassava flour, right?
Yeah, it does. But I'm, it comes from that, but something, the way it breaks down and the way it's chemically produced, I'm just, again, is everybody going to have an allergic reaction? I'm not saying that. And by the way, I'm not a medical doctor giving medical advice, but I'm just saying, if we are really paying attention to what we eat and what do we feel like after we eat it, I think all of us at times have different things where we eat it and we may have like a reaction. And I used to do this too. I'd be like, wow, I feel kind of funny. And then like it goes away and then I don't really think about it. I wonder what that feeling was. Or sometimes I might like have, let's say something, and I look in the mirror when I'm taking care of like my nighttime routine, flossing and doing different things. I'm like, why do I have like a little zit? Oh my gosh, my body had an instant reaction. It's not a full.
Well, yeah. I mean, I am releasing all these toxins right now.
Right.
And I woke up at 3:00 in the morning, very inflamed. And I'm releasing toxins not because of what I consumed, like as far as food, because I have a very, very clean diet and I don't take any medications. But as you recall, I was exposed to overexposed to radiation for 14 months. And I gained 50 pounds, lost 25. And the last 25 are kind of tough to take off because there's so many toxins in my body from that radiation exposure.
Yeah.
And so now that I'm taking it to the next level, doing the far infrared sauna and doing the light therapy and doing the Rife therapy and, like all this stuff literally every single day, because I'm done. Like I'm done with sickness. Like I'm done. I mean, I was sick all year this year. I'm leaving it on the table for 2023, and 2024 is nothing but hell.
Yes, radiant optimal health.
ROH.
Radiant optimal health.
Mm-hmm. And I understand you're going to be on Zelda's show next Monday, right?
Well, yeah, we're coordinating it. I have to make sure that that's the final slot, but I'm thoroughly excited. Thoroughly. I mean, listen, you guys and these beautiful shows, you guys are an access point for people like me to share so that people that are the consumers can at least be armed with some information they may not get through other sources. So I truly thank you guys.
So, yeah, and she's part of the female solution. So we're now separate, but Zelda's my dear friend and I love her. And we do share a lot of many common values. And I love her and she's amazing. And she reversed diabetes. And so she has a book called The Diabetic Donut. So she it'll be a fun show for the two of you. And Zelda also says, who knew tapioca could do such damage? No wonder the world is sick. Gut rules. So I'm doing a deeper dive on gut health. I'm doing another training because we're always learning more through cell science out in Florida. And it's a fairly long training, and it looks like she's scheduling now. She says December 18th if she's available. That's my brother's birthday, my late brother's birthday. I think that would be.
I love it. I love it. Oh my God, Zelda speaks. I love it.
And welcome to the show, Susan Sinnett and Janet Janet, just shoot me now. Nor Tardonato. She has the most unique name, and I've known her for over 2 decades, and I still can't like properly say her name, but I love her for as much as I can't say her name is as much as I love her. So there you go. So welcome to the show. We're so grateful to have you here.
Absolutely.
And welcome Doreen and Phil, and we have Tracy here and Savita and Kim. Thank everybody for showing up. Welcome, welcome. We're excited to have you. So I want to just say this about gut health. So, I mean, I think most people know this by now, but in case you don't, we have actually more brain cells in our gut than we actually have in our brain. And so we have to have a clear path between our brain and our gut. And the path that it takes is obviously through your intestinal tract. And if your intestinal tract has these little holes in it, called a leaky gut, or it's permeated holes in the gut lining. What happens when the food comes through or the signals for anything comes through, it goes into the bloodstream, causing inflammation. And I want to, be the spoiler alert here. Like, I reclaimed my gut health, but it is a constant thing because we are exposed to EMF radiation, whatever else is in the air. You drink some water you don't know that's got crap in it, So it's not like you reclaim your gut health and you're done.
Right.
It's an all the time thing. And look, people, don't go out for lunch and eat crappy food. Like, don't say it's just once. It's not just once. That one time permeates, puts a hole in your gut, and now you're spending the next 9 months healing it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The gut is the second brain. It's well documented. And 75% of our immune system is in our gut. So if our immune system's compromised, right, we need to look at the gut. I personally found out, like many people, have gut issues and they don't know it. I worked with a functional medical doctor because a lot of symptoms were happening to me. And I went to her initially because my thyroid was sort of an overdrive and I had lost 15 pounds in 6 weeks. And so,
wow.
Yeah. There was a lot of health situations at this point in my life. It was truly a health crisis. And I don't use that word lightly because it was. The doctor took a deep dive into my gut. We found out that I had an infection in my gut and I had bacteria that should not be in there. Things like H. pylori, if we've heard of some of these things that can turn into something worse. And then bacteria that was insufficient. Our bacteria really needs to be balanced. And as you pointed out, when our gut biome is off, which is the bacteria, they call it dysbiosis. That's actually
dysbiosis.
Right? Dysbiosis, Jody. I found out that dysbiosis is AKA leaky gut, and most doctors that are following the functional approach to medicine, which looks at your body at a big integrated system, they say most people walking around in the United States have a leaky gut and don't know it. And especially when we're eating gluten, and not everybody's allergic to gluten, which is celiac disease. Most people have a sensitivity to gluten because the way our flour products are now harvested these days, it's sort of like a mutant version.
Well, yeah. And so I will say this, because I really thought about this a lot over the weekend. So I'd like to give a caveat to that.
Let's do it.
So, okay. So most people are not actually allergic to gluten.
Right.
Not real gluten. They're allergic to the manufactured version of gluten. And so, and I think, I apologize. I know that's where you were going, but
it's good.
That's, it's really an important distinction to make. So if you're eating a whole food diet or you're eating like Ezekiel bread, right? I like Ezekiel bread. I'm pretty certain it's not gluten-free.
Correct. It's not.
It's made with, sprouted foods. And so my birds eat it. They don't have a leaky gut. Now, I have a leaky gut now, but it's not because of the bread.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the gluten. But I want to talk about that unfriendly bacteria. So see back here?
Yes, I do.
I'm now filming out of my very favorite location in the home, which is my healing center.
Beautiful.
And back there is my Rife machine. And so when you have a bacteria like that, you can use a Rife machine to kill the pathogens like in an hour. And so that's what Andrew and I did to get, to really up our ante.
Yeah.
We use that machine. It's non-invasive, right? It's a frequency.
Yeah.
And you kill those pathogens in an hour, under the auspices of research.
Yeah. Well, I love your link because you're showing full script there on the screen. And I wound up working with a number of different gut supplements with the help of, again, a functional medical doctor trained by the Institute of Functional Medicine. And we did clean out my gut. It took a little bit. It took a little bit to get in there. There was a number of supplements I was doing to clean out the bacteria that shouldn't be in there, bring in the new bacteria, address the infection. And once I was working with my gut, my face cleared up. I had acne. I did not know why, because I didn't eat sweets and, drink sugary drinks and anything. I found out that was coming from the gut. So a lot of times if people have an acne problem, it's a sign to functional medical doctors something's happening in their gut that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. And so people can use this link to, open up an account. You get a 15% discount automatically. I also have a functional food program, and that functional food program will help you understand the foods that are good and not so good for your gut health, your brain health, and all of that. And so I encourage you to open an account. It's free. There's no membership required. You don't have to buy a certain amount every month. You just buy what you need when you need it. And if you need a consult so that you know what to do, you can schedule with me for a free 15-minute consult. After 15 minutes, it's $175 an hour, and we can break that up by 15 minutes, whatever that is. I don't remember. So that kind of gives you an idea. And so, and going back to nutrient dense foods, like sometimes, there's like 4 cookies in your product. Do you have a box to show of your product?
You know what? I don't have a box. Can you believe that?
That's hilarious. So it comes in packages.
I do have a label though.
Well, I wanted them to see it comes in 4s. But the point is that you actually don't have to eat the whole cookie. It's so nutrient dense.
Don't. You can see that.
I'm going to do something better. So I'm going to show your website.
Let's do it.
So here we go. Can you see what we have here? These cookies. And so when you eat nutrient dense food, it is different, right?
Oh gosh, yes.
You don't have to eat a ton of them. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Yeah. I mean, like this person I was telling you about that you wanted to eat the 9 cookies. More people than less tell me they eat one crazy cookie and they're good. I've had guys that exercise. I've had women that have their coffee in the morning. They're like, Lori, I feel good with one cookie. It feels like it's good for me. It fills me up. Now, some people will still eat 2. I'm going to tell you, I have 2. I work out a lot. I have 2. But, a lot of people, one cookie, and one cookie's got 120 calories, just like this. Yet, it's got good fats, right? Good saturated fats, which are, good for the brain, right? It's got protein, and it's got good carbs, right? This is stuff that gives us energy. It's got
oh my goodness. I didn't know this. Look at this.
I put you on there. That's a beautiful testimonial. Gosh, play that for everybody.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it right now.
I
had no idea this was up here. Okay, come on.
Bird is a celebrity.
Hey, everybody. say hello. So I got Fagala here. She wanted to be part of the broadcast when I tell you about how amazing No Sugar Mama treats are. And the truth of the matter is, I bought like 9 of these or 10. I don't know how many containers. This was the peanut butter bombs, gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, vegan, processed, sugar-free. It's made with, I believe it's Date Lady uh, um, syrup, which is amazing, full of minerals. But I want to tell you that she now ships, and this is a good friend of mine, Lori Urbancic. And even though she's a good friend of mine, if I didn't like her product, I'm going to tell you right now that I wouldn't be telling you to get it and put it on your Thanksgiving table, put it on your Christmas table, your Hanukkah table, um, put it on your table every day. And why? Because it's actually made with real food and real ingredients, and it's good for your brain health, and it's good for your digestive health. And there's nothing in it that's going to harm you. And wow, isn't that a beautiful thing? So I just want to say thank you to Lori for creating this amazing product. Vagla, you want to say thank you too, right? Because it makes my mommy happy. She says, yes, it does. All right. Thank you. And the link is in, yep, the link is in the thread, or will be in about 2 seconds. Okay. So here you go. That's where you get it. Buy it now. Bye.
That was beautiful, Jody. You and Sigla. It's my official mascot now.
So funny. So you guys get that I really love, what Lori is doing. So you should go and, check out. And if you're looking for a new treat or something different, and you want to stay healthy, like really, it's like, here's the concept. Food doesn't have to destroy you.
Right.
Actually, food should nourish you. And food, when you're eating at the end of a meal, you should not want to go to sleep. You should actually have more energy when you're done, which is a whole mindset shift that I had to have, because like I didn't eat at work. Like, can anybody who's listening tell me, like, do you not eat lunch because you're afraid that you're going to fall asleep or get too tired at work? Right. I know a lot of people that do that. That's not normal.
Yeah.
Okay. You're supposed to have more energy after having breakfast, lunch, and or dinner. Okay. Which is why you shouldn't eat dinner so late, because you would have more energy and you wouldn't be able to go to sleep.
Right.
I made that mistake last night. So, so I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm educating you on how things really are supposed to be. So if you're having a different response, that's your signal to look at your body. What's your signal your body's giving you, right? So, and Naima wants to know, she says she's on day 4 of a 7-day alkaline water fast. What's a good nutritious food to gently break my fast? I don't know, because I sense that you have food sensitivities, because you've lived in a house for at least 3 years that I know of, that's filled with mold. And so that's impairing your brain health. And so I would just like really work on the mold in the house and hire what is it? Dave Suki's company. Well, he sold it now, but it's what is that company? It kills all the pathogens. It uses hydrogen.
I'm not sure.
Well, anyways, what they do is they spray the house with hydrogen vinegar and like one other non-toxic thing, and in 3 hours, all the mold is gone.
Wow.
And so, if you don't want to do that, all the fasting and stuff like that isn't going to do you any good. It's like a Band-Aid. You may as well just take a pill, because, these things that are in the home are killing you. Like if you have mold in your home, it's killing your brain health and your gut health, because you're breathing it in. And that mold is actually putting in little pinholes in your intestinal tract as well. So if you are not willing to invest in your health, you're going to have to invest in your death. And I'm really sorry to say that, but that's really the truth. You either pay now or pay later.
Yeah. 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 Mold. that one's a big one to address. That one, that gets in your whole system. That can leak into your brain. It goes into your bones. It gets into your muscles. I worked with my functional medical doctor. I found out I had a mold exposure, and it changes the chemistry of your cells.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
And that's why a lot of times people that have had a mold exposure, weight gain is absolutely a symptom. Brain fog, absolutely a symptom. Runny nose, things like that. It's not like the person has mold in their body. They've got the die-off from their cells that have been impacted from mold. And again, I learned this by working with my own mold exposure with a functional medical doctor.
I had it too.
Yeah.
So when I'm telling someone who's told me that they've got mold in their house and they don't listen to me for 3 years, you think I'm going to give them any more advice? No.
Oh yeah, that's something.
Like, I'm done with that. If you don't want to listen and you want to continue living in a moldy house and you want to buy other things versus, and like, you have to have some sort of responsibility for yourself and your own body and stop complaining and just do something.
Yeah.
Put the money out. Sorry, nothing's more important than your health. And if you think for a second that there's something more important than your health, then you have a whole list of values that need to be addressed.
Right. I'm with you on that one, Jody.
Naima says she got rid of the mold, and she didn't. What she did is she thought she cleaned it up. You can't clean up mold. You have to, no. So sorry.
You can't clean them up. I had really good success with a company called BioBalance out of New Mexico. It's a fogger, and I fogged it, and it's a citrus-based solution. And that really, I was able to use mold plates to collect samples. I sent them to the lab in Mexico, New Mexico. They told me what kinds of mold I had. I bought the fogger and I bought the solution. It took me about an hour. I did the whole house. You blast the house, you fill it with fog, you go from room to room. And I did this, and then you leave the house for 24 hours. I came back in with my mold plates. I tested everything again, sent it back to the lab. No mold.
Yeah, so this is you turned me on to affordable mold testing, expert analysis, and consultation. So here's my link on Linktree for that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
And so the mold plates are $33. I think they're on sale right now. And so and there's where you get that. But
so you've got so many things accounted for. All somebody has to do is go to your site, and if they've got anything they're contending with, you've got it. I mean, look at that.
Well, I mean, look, people also judge me for offering too much. I'm like, I'm sorry. My soul calls me to connect people to the things that they need.
Yeah.
That's what my soul calls me. I don't have to be an expert in all of it. I surround myself, as my father taught me to do, with people who know more than me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and this company, Immunolytics. Okay. So I'm going to click on that.
Yep. Bless your heart, Jody.
So I'm going to share their screen. Hold on. And so they are amazing, but you said that they sent you a fogging kit. Somebody.
Yeah. When I bought the citrus-based solution, they had a small fogger that came with it. Now, I don't know if they still sell fogging machines when you buy it.
What company sold you that? Was that Immunolytics or someone else?
BioBalance.
BioBalance. Let's go there because I can't remember the other name.
BioBalance. Yeah, BioBalance out of New Mexico.
Okay, I found the book BioBalance.
No, Jeff. What's his
name? It. Oh, cool.
Yeah. These guys, I tell you what, the owner of this company, amazing. Jeff is his name. His daughter and other people in his family have mold sensitivities, and that's how he started the business. And they're exceptional. They're exceptional.
This is your people, right?
Yeah. Haven. That's it. That is it. It's amazing. That product is it's a citrus-based solution.
So
It's
citrus is really great for killing mold.
yes.
It's
Everything you need to treat mold, you can get from these guys. I absolutely
hilarious. It's a design for the chemically sensitive. That's
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Everybody's chemically sensitive. They just don't know it.
Oh gosh, all of us.
Um,
By the way, that's another thing, and you know how you and I are sharing. One of the key things that I found about my health is that I actually had a chemical screening again by my functional medical doctor. I found out in my body plastic, fluoride, barium levels, insecticide, you know, glyphosate,
glyphosate, yeah.
glyphosate, a number of other things that when I looked at this 5-page report, and it's color coded, so it's red, yellow, and green. I had so much red on the report. I took it, you know, I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, all this is inside of me. And I was like, you know, a healthy, clean person, but it just shows how we're all exposed. You walk outside, your neighbor's fertilizing. Guess what? You're breathing it, right?
Yeah. So my neighbor does all this fertilization. And anyways, yeah, no
Yeah,
surprise.
we're exposed
So,
to this.
yeah, it's not a good idea.
It's in our homes, right? You and I, we're in our homes. Think about these walls that are painted. Think about trim that's got, you know, chemicals on it. If it's stained, you know, we breathe this. So I hope your viewers and listeners are using some sort of air filtration system.
Well, it's more than air filtration. So I'm just going to do the quick thing on this. Thank you for leading me down the path. So I'm opening a bunch of screens here right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, you do need to neutralize your ear, and how you can neutralize the ear is by diffusing essential oils. Okay. So you can diffuse essential oils. It will neutralize the ear, it'll neutralize the toxins in your carpet. You know, it doesn't take them away, it just neutralizes them while you are, you know, living there. Right.
Right.
Then the other one is, you know, you have to neutralize the electromagnetic frequencies. The cool thing is this thing's on sale right now. But the Centropics has a product called the Cocoon. And so we use this product and we run frequencies in the house, and it puts a cocoon over the house 82 feet each way. And so on sale now, I think it's like 2,900 or something. But the point is that, you know, I've spent probably $35,000 this year on health products that, you know, I can use every single day of my life and do use every single day of my life. And I spent this money because it was either, and you can gasp and say, oh, it's a lot of money. But here's the thing. When you consider the fact that I had cancer this year, I had failing kidneys, failing liver, clogged spleen. If I had gone to a hospital, I would have been in the six figures on the first like 6 months.
Oh, easy.
Right?
Yeah.
Six figures. So I spent $35,000. I have my own health spa, which, I mean, of course, it's what I do for a living, but now I can also help others with it. But even if you're not helping others with it, these are products that last a lifetime. And so you're supporting your health in a way that's unrecognizable to many. But I learned this from my dad. So my dad, we had supplements in the house. He built a gym on the inside of the house. And while we don't have a gym on the inside of the house because we like to go outside, we brought all the other stuff in. So
Nice.
infrared saunas, the Rife machine, you know, the Healy, which you have, pulse
Yeah.
electronic magnetic frequencies.
Yeah.
You know, that's just to get the party started.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you shared that dollar amount you spent. I'll tell you what, my last 2 years when I was in my corporate career, $40,000 each year to address the symptoms that had built up over my lifetime. And so my last 2 years, $80,000 on health. And that was just to address the
symptoms, the Band-Aid approach.
I wasn't even fixing it. So you're either going to pay it to be preventative, or you're going to be paying it on the back end to address. And by then your body's already probably in some form of a crisis. Maybe it's a mild one, but you talk about your spleen, being compromised. I mean, these, you only have one spleen, right, Jody? We come down.
Yeah, we can't replace that. So I created a concoction for myself using ACV, turmeric, cardamom, black pepper, cinnamon, and I shake it up and I take it down, and it's cleaning up the spleen. It was 60% clogged, and now today it's about 18 to 20% clogged. That's just a couple of days because I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I'm just done, and I'm not receiving this in my body anymore.
Yeah.
And so there was something else I wanted to share. I forget about this. But the point is that y'all have a choice, right? And to choose your food, and your food chooses your mood. And so we are not a culmination of the things that happen to us or for us. We're really a culmination of our choices
Right.
that lead us, to a better lifestyle or to a unhealthy lifestyle. And if you're trying to figure out if you fit into this, like unhealthy or healthy, you need to take a look at your relationships. So if your relationships are falling apart at the seams, that's your key indicator that there's something wrong with your brain and your gut.
Yeah.
Okay? Because it controls your emotions. Or if you have parasites, right?
Yeah.
They're running the show, not you. And I'm not saying you're not a good person. I'm telling you, you are an amazing person. And that parasite or that unhealthy bacteria, it's running your show.
Yeah. So true. Well, and if we take a look around, there's a lot of things happening in the world. There's a lot of things happening with our families and friends. And some of these things that we're talking about on the show today, Jody, are like some basic things that we can do to support ourselves. Good food, good rest, good water, breathe clean air, have a relationship with the divinity within, right? And
all day.
Right. I mean, these are the basic things. And I mean, I feel like I was doing those things in life, and yet I was also busy in my job. And it took my health crisis. It shot me to a place of like, I was really woken up, and now I pay attention. So I'm focused on water, food, rest, exercise, owning my power, right? That, body, mind, and spirit, the whole package. Right. The whole
right. And so here's the thing, like right now, I'm not exercising as much as I can, but I am using my far infrared sauna to get that heat up. And when I first was disabled, many, many years ago, I was not able to exercise.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to, I want to make sure that people understand we're not here to make you wrong if you
Right.
can't take on certain parts.
Right.
Like love your body where it's at.
Yeah.
Right. And do what you can.
We do.
And add it in. So for me, I get a lot of exercise in this house, just going up 3 flights of stairs every day. Like, like I'm going up and down 3 flights of stairs. So I'm actually getting exercise. I'm just not going outside because it's too flipping cold for me. And believe me, and that's in Georgia.
Yeah. Well, in Chicago, it's a little worse, but you bring up a real point. I want to kind of hit this. Our body being warm. I'm a huge proponent of body and brain. You see, I have a t-shirt on because
I saw that. I'm going to send you a Susan Essentials Emotional Healing Toxic Free Living t-shirt.
Please do. I love it. I got to tell you, there's a concept that body and brain help me learn, and helping other people learn. Water up, fire down, keeping our gut warm, getting that heat down in our gut and circulating the cool energy in our head, right? And so that really is a concept that Il Chi Lee came up with. It's a beautiful concept. If people think about, you're talking about that sauna, that heat, activate your body and get that heat in your gut, in your lower dantian, in that belly button area. So powerful. Keep that heat down there.
So you're absolutely right. I want to do a yes and to that, okay?
Yeah.
So that's why the concoction that I made, I needed to have heat to heal that spleen. So here's my recipe.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So that's why I use the apple cider vinegar. Cinnamon is hot, turmeric
Cinnamon's
hot, black
yeah.
pepper hot, cardamom hot, ginger hot. And I use so here's the I'll be publishing that
I
recipe.
love it. Put that
But
on your
these
website.
it's you can get heat from a farm fed sauna, which I do. And you
Yeah.
can get heat from the foods that you eat.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. There's so many ways to get heat. Keep that body warm. Move it, right? Move our bodies, right? These are things that, simple things. It doesn't have to be like one big, we got to work out for 3 hours. We can do things throughout the day. And that's another thing I would encourage people to do is get up from the computer, walk around. I wasn't doing that when I was in my corporate job. I mean, that starts to do things to our skeleton and our muscular, our muscles.
Well, right. You get that forward head carriage, right?
Yes.
Anterior forward, yeah.
Yes.
So
these,
I would see a chiropractor if you're not, right? See a chiropractor weekly.
yeah.
You and I found a great chiropractor. He's got locations in Woodstock, Georgia, and Roswell and Kennesaw. And so we now will be seeing him twice a week because
Nice.
and I'm this year was such a wake up call for me. And I'm going to be teaching people more and more about the impacts of this radiation that's on our bodies. For me to gain 50 pounds, right, in 14 months, and I keep a healthy lifestyle and I'm strict, that's got people wake up, check your walls. If you're living in an apartment, you need to make sure that there's not stacked tower, or what's it called, smart meters, right?
Smart meter. Oh my gosh, yes, the EMF with that. I want to go back to one thing because you'll get a kick out of this. The average amount of feces that the person carries in the gut is 13 pounds. And so one way to lose weight is actually spend time healing your gut. You will release those feces. And by the way, if those are sitting in your intestine and they're not releasing, that releases bacteria too.
Yes, it does. And
Right.
it actually grows it's like becomes its own little party in there, right?
Yes.
So my mom, so she didn't go to the bathroom for 9 days. We had to take her to the hospital to remove the feces. And so people, it's not, if you're not pooping
Yeah.
after every single meal, okay,
Yeah.
there's something that you need to look at. And there's something I want to announce. There's two things. So one, just next week, we're going to the afternoon. So we'll be on at 3:00 Eastern time, 2:00 Central time. And so we're moving the show to the afternoon. We'll still do the announcements, but mornings, they're just not my thing. I use that time, usually to meditate and, prepare mentally. So secondly, what was my second?
Were you going to say the show's going to be an hour?
Yeah, the show's an hour, not 2 hours. So there's that. But there was something else. It was relative to health. Oh, yes. So I'm collaborating with a naturopathic doctor out of Indiana, and she's functional medicine. And so this is coming next year. I have all the machines that tie into her technology.
Mhm.
What does her technology do? You take the saliva and you take the hair. We send it to her. She does a full analysis of all the things that are going on inside the body. But more importantly, it says these are the top 3 things that you need to handle.
Love it.
Because when you handle those 3 things in that order, okay?
Yeah.
Not everything, most of those other things are going to fall off.
I love it.
Now, her technology ties into my technology. So it sends it to my technology and says, run this for that person.
I love it. Where can I get this test done? I want it done.
So I will talk to you offline on that because she's experiencing her anniversary right now.
Okay.
Her 50th anniversary. But I will guide you like when we put it all together, but it's not an expensive test. I mean, I think we're going to be around like $350 It's going to see if you have food sensitivities, parasites, bacteria, viruses. It'll tell you if there's a thyroid issue. I mean, it tells you literally every little last thing.
Wow.
Everything.
Yeah, hair is huge, right? A piece of information. I've never had that done. It's time for me to do it.
So, so so she and I are partnering, and so she'll do all the testing, and then I'll do the solutions here. Now, because you are in Illinois, Lori,
Yeah.
I would send you to her because she's in Indiana. You would go over there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing, her testing takes longer, meaning it takes a couple weeks to get the results. Why? Because she does like this really detailed job that other people are not doing.
Nice.
That's why I chose her.
Yeah, I love it. Hair is such a, it's not many people are having hair samples done, but man, it's so helpful, right?
Well,
it unlocks
heavy metals, right?
Yes.
Those heavy metals. And if
Yeah.
you have heavy metals and you're having brain fog, now you understand why you have brain fog. Do you have aluminum in your body, right? Do you have mercury that's coming out from the teeth? Like people, we're here to shed the light.
We all grew up using tinfoil to wrap our food. That leaches into food, right?
Yeah. So.
Wow. I tell you what, we covered a lot of ground.
We sure did. And so.
Yeah, this is amazing. You are amazing. Look at
you. So look, I wanted to say, look, I know we have holidays coming up. We just passed the first one. I want to ask you to support local businesses, and I want you to support small businesses, and I want you to support Lori. And because it's good for you, and it's good for her, and it's good for our community. If we don't support our businesses that are not trying, I hate that word. If we don't support businesses that are doing the right thing for your health, who are towing the line, taking a stand, okay? If we don't support them, then we're just, well, you can put that together. I'm not going to complete that sentence.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. And I thank you, Jody. I feel like there are more companies that are really focused on, let's get back to simple health. Let's say we're talking about foods because that's, what I'm bringing to the table. Basic, sustainable, right? Sustainable methods, right? Not using fillers and lecithins and all these things, in the foods, just basic, simple. I mean, and really taking a stand to like give back. And I mean, I think that's another thing that I would love to just share with people. And I know there's other companies that I'm seeing do it too, donating profits back to support. And, what I say is I work for humanity and the earth now, because 10% of my profits going to support humanity and earth initiatives. And it's like, our earth needs us now. It always has, more than ever. And I'm just alerting all of us to like, what can we do? So it's our habits that we can, run our households with really good habits. But we can also support companies that want to do things to give back. And I mean, that's 10% of profits of No Sugar Mama. I'm focused on air, water, soil as 3 initiatives that support Earth. And then for humanity, I'm focused on domestic violence prevention, trauma, victim support, suicide prevention, those areas. Suicides are up across the board, but also in youth because of the anxieties and things that they're exposed to now. We are living in very different times. So that's another thing that I just wanted to call out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement, and we do need to end the show. And it looks like Naima just decided to do a copycat of our show on her female solution. It just started a moment ago. I'm just amazed. I guess people like to copy good things, right? But not usually at the same time. So okay. So I want to say this about giving back. So we are not, my company, we're not profitable yet because I'm a new company, right? But I still give back in the way that I can. One is I donate and have donated a lot of my services. Number two, I grow 200 plus ginkgo trees every single year. I give them away for free. Why? Because we have to reinoculate the planet with this living fossil. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is going to sustain our planet, not only this year, but for lifetimes to come. So we all are doing what we can in the way in which we do it.
Absolutely, Jody. Well said.
Yeah. And when I publish my book next year, which is Emotional Healing, Toxic Free Living, that percentage of the profits, I think actually not, it's like every $2 is $2 from every book. I think that's what it's going to be, is going towards the EWG.org, which is Environmental Working Group, who is working very hard to support that we get what we need in our food supply. So next week, everybody, it's let me just go here. December 5th, the next show. It's at 3 p.m. I am bringing on Michelle Froge, the Rockstar Coach, and we're going to be talking about releasing suffering and bringing on the joy.
Nice.
Okay? All right. I love you all. Thank you so much, Lori, for being here. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
And be the change you want to see.
Be the change and have a